I'm in an incredibly difficult position. I was posted on a Facebook group called Are We Dating the Same Guy in My City, and it was nothing short of character assassination. The worst things were said about me, lies, and this has destroyed my reputation and will forever follow me. It is complete defamation. She made a point of texting me a screenshot of the post after I blocked her on a different phone number to let me know she was going to ruin my life, claiming I used her. However, she invited me to her apartment and was giving all the signs that she wanted to have sex. The group is private, so I'm unable to contact the admin to remove this post. I told her I would contact the police, but she then said it wasn't posted, which I know is a lie. There are over 60,000 women in this group who live in or around the city. Essentially, I am unable to date. There are only 2 major cities in this province in Canada. I was considering purchasing a home here, but after this, I'm rethinking my plans. I face several difficult choices. Option A, stay off online dating entirely and seek a partner who gives me a fair chance. Difficult but possible. Option B, move out of province somewhere else in the country and legally change my name for anonymity so this does not follow me. Option C, I am a European citizen. Live abroad. I'm not taking this lightly. It has eroded my mental health to the point where I'm anxious, depressed, and suicidal. I've consistently been ghosted or found myself in situations where first dates, for example through speed dating, have ultimately led to being ghosted afterwards. Dating prior to this was fairly easy. I am a decent-looking man, but now dating has become horrible. I need advice on what to do. I dated someone who called herself a crazy Brazilian girl. After sleeping with her on the first date, she wanted to be my girlfriend. I listened to my gut and ended it, but I wish I hadn't slept with her. All of this could have been avoided. It was the worst decision of my life and was not part of my value system, so going up to her apartment was a very bad decision. Edit. There was a comment that I treated her wrong. That is incorrect. I treated her well, but she wanted to be my girlfriend after the first date and was giving off strong creep vibes. After respectfully messaging her and ending it, she demanded I call her, which I felt was a bad decision. She then called me over 25 times and consecutively sent 32 messages threatening to publicly humiliate me where I frequent and calling me names. Clearly, she was emotionally unhinged. Listening to my gut was a wise decision. Edit 2. Thank you everyone for your responses. I wish I had time to respond to each message individually, but I have been really struggling and haven't been online. For those being supportive, it means a lot. Nice to know I'm not completely alone in my pain. Story 1. I would just take a break from online dating and focus on meeting women in person. Women are more likely to give you a fair chance if you build a rapport with them first. Even if they see you on a social media post, if you have already made a positive impression, they may trust their own experience over that of a stranger. They might also ask you about it, giving you an opportunity to explain your side of the story. Story 2. My ex did this to me. I dated her for 2 months and then broke up with her. She felt like it was an affront to her honor and trashed me online to everyone. I just let her. I am in a serious relationship now, and it has not been a problem at all in finding women to date. I have a very small pool to work with. Let them talk. Story 3. When these groups first appeared, I really saw the value in them. I wasn't single, so I didn't participate, but I thought it was cool that you could avoid accidentally being a mistress. However, I joined one last year because my sister insisted it was pure entertainment, but I didn't even last a week. The groups have completely lost the plot. Being ghosted after a first date is not abuse. Someone dating multiple people when you met online and haven't decided to go exclusive yet is not shady behavior. It was clear that 80% of the posts were women retaliating after being rejected or ensuring nobody dates the guy who broke up with them yesterday. It was all pure brain rot. I'm sorry you had to deal with this. A close friend from high school just went through this, and I could tell it really took a toll on him. All he did was ghost someone, which is rude but not abusive or a reason to be humiliated online. To give the women in the group credit, the posters are called out consistently. We can tell the difference between someone who is potentially dangerous or unkind and someone who just was not a good fit. If they cannot tell the difference, you do not want to date them anyway. Story 4. I would not worry about the group. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, but no one has a shorter memory than social media. Story 5. Go the big corporation public relations route and maintain radio silence until it dies down. Could take a week, a month, or even a year, but eventually it will be forgotten again. Say nothing unless someone brings it up. If you speak about it unprompted, you will lose that conversation. Story 6. I would ignore it. People have the attention span of gnats. After 2 weeks, the number of people who saw the post and remember it will be close to zero. If you throw a public tantrum, people will have longer memories on the subject. Story 7. I used to be in the Facebook group of my city and had to leave. It was very toxic. It made me feel absolutely empty about the state of women in my city. I read post after post, and all I saw were women who desperately needed therapy. I'm sorry you're going through this. Can you ask a female friend to join the group and send screenshots or even tell them that the police will be contacted because of the lies? You could also comment on the post stating that it is false. There has to be a way to get in touch with the moderators. Or you could text her and tell her you will sue her for defamation if she doesn't delete the post. Story 8. You're totally overthinking it. You are not that important. Given she posted in such a private group, the only people seeing it are those looking specifically over a few days. Within a week, it's a long scroll. A month later, it's long gone. How many people check Facebook at all anymore? Anyone who begins online dating in a few months will never access this. Just block and forget. Story 9. I was posted there as well by someone who was upset that I turned her down. She spread slander all over the post. From claims of sexually transmitted diseases to stalking, she wanted to crucify me. Most people know that it is a one-sided story, and those who are willing to judge based on one angry woman posting this are not worth it. Don't you want to date someone who doesn't jump to conclusions and wants to hear you out? When I was posted, most of those women told me it sounded like she was just really bitter about me not dating her. Women aren't dumb. They can see through a lot of the nonsense. They're there for the drama. It will pass sooner than you think. I hear you, though. It is frustrating for sure. Story 10. The idea that most women in the area are active in this group and take everything they see there seriously seems unlikely. Facebook itself is not very popular unless you are around 40 years old. Most conversations I see from women about these groups involve criticizing other women for being unreasonable. I think you are really overestimating her influence here. Story 11. Do you have any evidence that the girls who have ghosted you are doing so because they saw that post? Just because the group has 60,000 members, it does not necessarily mean all or even most of them saw that one post. Could it possibly be that you have just had a streak of bad luck lately? Even if the post played any part in your recent bad luck, I personally think changing your name or moving because of this is an overreaction. It is a Facebook post. Most sane people know there are two sides to every story, and in a short amount of time, it will blow over and nobody will even remember it. If you are super worried about it, just take a break from dating for a while and focus on doing other things you like. Take a moment to breathe and enjoy having obligations only to yourself. Also, this goes without saying, but be careful when sleeping with women you just met. If you are not sure how you feel about a relationship with them, avoid getting physical unless you both agree beforehand that that is all it will be. It sounds like she was legitimately hurt by your interaction, and her response to it, regardless of how fair or unfair, is coming from that place of hurt. I can understand why she might feel a certain way. From her perspective, you took her out once, slept with her, told her you were not interested right after, and ghosted her. I absolutely do not agree with her response in blowing your situation up online, but I can at least understand and sympathize with how she got to that place of hurt. She may have had a bad history with men doing that, and your date could have brought all of that back for her. Be mindful of these things going forward. When you have only known someone for a short time, you have no way of knowing how they will react to something like this. Sorry you are having to deal with this, but try and take a deep breath and just take a break for a bit. You are not famous or infamous now, even if it feels like it. It sucks that this happened, but it is just one of probably thousands of posts in a private Facebook group. I guarantee most people in your area never even saw it, or if they did, it was not important enough to them to remember. It is possible you will meet someone who saw and remembers it, but I am sure most people will not. It is going to be okay, I promise. Just let it blow over. Good luck. Story 12. Just ignore it. You are giving away far more than necessary. Let it say more about the other person than about you. If anyone ever mentions it, laugh and say it is not real and you would rather they make up their own mind about you. Story 13. This sort of thing makes the world feel a lot smaller than it actually is. The world is a big place, and most people do not talk to each other. Virality on social media platforms is certainly a phenomenon, but the key point, and this is the hardest part by far, is that you cannot take it personally. I know that sounds somewhat wild, but I do not think these are personal. They are not about you. They are about her. Story 14. Unless you are living in a small Icelandic village, this literally does not matter. You are probably never going to see any of these people in real life, and anyone who came across those posts probably does not care about them enough to remember or watch out for the infamous person. Salacious content like this catches people's attention quickly, but interest fades away even faster. Simply put, you are not that important. People are too busy thinking about themselves to think about you. Get over it, block them, and move on with your life. There is no point engaging in this any further. Just cut your losses and forget about it. Story 15. So you are saying that you now have a ridiculously easy and effective way to screen out toxic women who are chronically online? I do not see what the problem is. Story 16. There are a couple of ways to deal with this. First, just wait it out. Your name and face in that group will eventually be buried and forgotten. Second, consider whether you would want to be with someone in a group that only hears one side of the story and makes judgments. I see it more as a filter for your mental health to avoid people like this. Third, you could potentially sue for libel, though damages may be difficult to prove. I am not a lawyer, however. Story 17. In most European Union countries, this would be illegal and one can sue her in court for defamation. There was a whole website specialized in such dating defamations that was taken down by court order after a defamation case. Story 18. It is self-correcting. Women who read and believe the "are we dating the same guy" nonsense are generally not the kind of women you want to date. Not always, but there is something toxic about that one-sidedness and anti-male attitude. So just ignore it. Story 19. Original poster, this is not defamation. It is libel, which is much easier to prove in court. Save all evidence. Create a temporary account under a female name and join the group, or have a friend join to collect the posts, texts, photos, and everything else. Story 20. Are you sure you are getting ignored because these new girls have seen this post? Or is that more of a feeling? I ask because it may be more likely that the way this is affecting you, and rightfully so, since you never know how far that post can reach, might be having more impact than the actual consequences of the post itself. Unstable people exist among us, and many of us have experienced or witnessed a situation like this before. If you are a good person, as you say, and have given all the background context, a girl you cannot successfully explain this to is probably not someone you wanted to be with anyway. Story 21. Take a break from dating for a while. You posted that you suffer from severe loneliness. Consider socializing more in situations where sex is not involved. Story 22. Doesn't a post on that group get quickly buried and forgotten? I understand it sucks, but I think you are overestimating the impact in a month or two from now. Story 23. I think these groups started with good intentions, but they have devolved into defamation, gossip, and pure meanness. Truthfully, you do not want to date someone who uses these groups. I think most men should check what they post there, and soon they will see it is a cult. I have been posted about by people I have never met. Story 24. Your life is not over. Although you think every woman is on this site, that is not true. You say there are 60,000 women on the site across 2 major cities. My major city, ranked 30th in media markets, has about 3 million people, so that is just a fraction. Get out of your head, consider therapy, move on, and continue with life. Story 25. If you are sure you are right and she is wrong, hire a lawyer and send a cease and desist letter threatening a lawsuit if the defamatory or libelous content is not removed from the site. Story 26. Please do not harm yourself. Whatever you do, Situations like this do not matter that much. It is incredibly unpleasant, and women who behave this way give the good ones a bad reputation. It will pass. Just continue with your life and perhaps keep a low profile for a while. If dating is causing you this much anxiety and stress, then in my honest opinion, it is not worth it right now. Story 27. Time heals all wounds. Take a break from the dating scene, give it a few months, and it will all be behind you. Story 28. Women are capable of critical thinking as much as men. I have known several who are just in these groups for the gossip and will still date men who get drunk there if they are attracted. One woman dated me after receiving a false text chain about me early on. She evaluated the story and decided it did not add up. It was fine. Sometimes a bad reputation makes women more attracted. There are people who seek out and date serial killers. You must relax. Story 29. I think any woman who believes something she reads in an online gossip group is not someone a reasonable person would want to be in a relationship with. Story 30. The women on that page are probably not those you want to be in a relationship with. Story 31. Actually, most of those groups have rules about screenshotting posts which would immediately get her banned. I know that it does nothing for you now, but it may save another person. I would find a way to message the administrators of the group and show them the evidence that you have. I am a woman, and I support these groups for safety reasons, but being completely unhinged is another level. I am sorry this happened to you. Story 32. If you are in Ontario or British Columbia, consider consulting a paralegal. They cost about half as much as a lawyer and, in those two provinces, can perform the same tasks a lawyer can for this type of case. You can have your solicitor write a demand letter for the removal of the post. If you wish, you can also pursue a libel claim, which is written and published defamation. If you have a friend or family member who can access the Facebook page to gather evidence, that would be ideal. In all honesty, many women are not constantly on social media. Assuming your dating life is over might be an overreaction. This situation will likely blow over in about a month. The solicitor might simply scare her into a reality check. Story 33. Honestly, this situation will blow over in 10 days max. Those groups post hundreds of men a day. Maybe we men need to start an "Are we dating the same woman" group too. Story 34. You are greatly overestimating how many women you match with will look you up there. There is a group of women who will, but most of them are not worth your time. Take screenshots and consider legal action. Continue using dating apps. Story 35. If things are really going as you say they are, you need to contact Facebook's support team. This should fall under their cyberbullying policies, and they should be motivated to remove it. Story 36. Make a fake Facebook account and get access to the group if you are able. Or ask a female friend to take full screenshots of the posts for you. Reach out to Facebook help to see if you can get the content taken down, even without accessing the group yourself. Contact the host administrator and let them know that the post is untrue and damaging to you. Ask them to remove it immediately or you will seek legal recourse. Speak with a lawyer about defamation. Request a consultation and discuss your entire situation. Follow their advice. They can send people letters to remove content or pursue other options that involve real court action. Canada has laws about harmful digital communications that could apply to your case. There are definitely options. Do not believe this will follow you forever. The internet moves on. Even Monica Lewinsky lives a relatively normal life now and never changed her name. Story 37. I'm a woman in the province I think you're living in. I'm really sorry to hear what you're going through. Before you do anything drastic like move or otherwise, please keep any screenshots and anything to prove this was a consensual interaction. If possible, speak to a police officer experienced with cyberbullying or stalking, and get legal advice from a lawyer or legal aid. I know this is making your life difficult, but you want to proceed with caution and awareness as much as you can. Even if you leave the province or country, this kind of harassment can come back and haunt you when you least expect it, such as at jobs, in relationships, or friendships. Please keep a legal paper trail of everything you did to try to resolve this situation. Again, I'm sorry this happened. Story 38. The chances that someone you try to date in the future is on that particular subreddit seem infinitesimal. I would just let it go at this point. Story 39. Take a breath, brother. It is unfortunate, but you are going to be okay. Just focus on getting it taken down. I have dated many women, and several have given me access to these groups so I can check my own name. I am sure you can figure it out if you want it badly enough. Good luck. Story 40. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that request. Story 41. It will pass, but the mind game will make you doubt yourself for a long time after no one else cares. Take care of yourself and focus on things that help your mental health. Spend time with friends, talk to a therapist if it sounds good, exercise, or do whatever generally makes you feel good. Story 42. Here's what you do. Take the car. Go to your mother's. Kill Philip. Grab Elizabeth, go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all of this to blow over. Story 43. I know this is Ask Men, but I'm a woman in a couple of those groups, and it honestly isn't that bad. Some men are posted multiple times, but most people forget or don't even see the post. Most women also won't automatically take one post at its word. Women are aware that some people misuse the page like that. Posts aren't necessarily easy to find, especially if there's no engagement, which is common if the post is false. The posts that people first see on the page will have multiple comments sharing stories or information about the man. You can have female friends go on the page, vouch for you, and share your screenshots if you're really worried. The men posted on these pages are typically individuals who are messing with or abusing multiple women or who have criminal records. Story 44. I've been posted but not for anything very serious. I bailed close to the date, and she posted me as a warning to others. Most comments were supportive, and I've gone on many dates since then. If what she is saying is false, try messaging the group with your screenshots to see if they can remove it. Maybe have a woman friend comment as well, stating that it is a lie. Many women are not on these groups or do not check them often. If you are struggling with dating, it is likely due to other reasons. If this situation is affecting you deeply and impacting your dating life, consider seeking help from a therapist. Take care of your mental health. Story 45. I'm glad my early dating days were before websites like this. One particular ex would have done this to me. We had some mutual friends who I felt knew me well. Yet every time I bumped into those mutual friends after the breakup, they would give me a death stare. I was annoyed because these people knew me. Yet my ex was able to easily get them to believe I was a monster, and they weren't even curious if there were two sides to the story. In retrospect, I should have seen it coming a mile away. If a new person aggressively disparages all their exes to you, and their friends repeat the narrative that they have only been with abusive partners, run away as fast as you can. You want to believe you'll be the first person to treat them right, but you'll end up being the most recent evil ex that all their friends hate. Story 46. The amount of apologizing in this thread for known systematic cyberbullying is concerning. This is exactly why men do not speak about their emotions. Don't overthink it. Relax. I don't think many of you have experience in a situation like this. It is easily grounds for psychological damage and abuse. Story 47. Do not follow any advice suggesting you create a burner account to infiltrate the group. It will make you appear worse. Even posting this makes you look suspicious and works against you. Free legal advice. Stop using Reddit for advice and contact a lawyer immediately. Story 48. On Facebook, you do not have to be a member of a group to message the administrator of that group. You can also request to join with a message stating you have proof you have been lied about. Additionally, you can report the group without joining. Are you sure she was lying? Story 49. Of the small number of people in this niche flagellation group, how many actually saw the post? Of the couple hundred that saw it, do you have any chance of running into one of them near you? In the extremely unlikely event that you run into a woman who has seen that post, what are the chances that she remembers the post and recognizes you, and that you want to ask her out? Why is this bothering you so much? Story 50. Hate to say it, but you are overreacting. If you have anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you should go to a doctor as soon as possible. However, no one really uses social media platforms anymore unless you are exclusively trying to date women aged 60 years and older. Story 51. I would choose option A. Any woman who uses those groups, especially one who would accept such blatant character assassination without question, is not someone I would want to date. Story 52. Honestly, I would try and seek legal counsel. If it is lies and defamation, you potentially could get that toxic group page shut down by Facebook. Story 53. Woman here. I know this is Ask Men, so ignore this if you want. I'm sorry that some people are awful. For some perspective, many users of these websites and groups have trust issues. Otherwise, they wouldn't feel the need to use them. I never visit them, and neither do most of my friends. I know only one person in real life who does, and she is doing it because she has been seriously hurt and is trying to protect herself. I can understand where she is coming from. At the same time, she is someone who, in a relationship, will want to go through her partner's phone, will react badly if her partner isn't texting her all the time, and develops anxiety over a partner's female coworker even when there is nothing shady going on. This stems from the same insecurity that compels her to frequent these sites. I have also read comments online from women who visit these spaces. Many say they do not take everything they see as gospel. Women can often easily tell when someone is posting mostly because they are being vindictive. If only one woman is posting bad things, the post is not taken as seriously as if multiple different people say similar things about someone. If this was your first and only mistake, the damage will be limited. Even if your character truly gets assassinated on a site like this, most of the women you want to date are not even on that site. Think of it as a filter that removes the most insecure and hurt women, those who visit the site frequently and are willing to believe anything bad about you in a black and white way. If you led this woman on just to get laid, you were being selfish and short-sighted. Remember that most people who are crazy were not destined to be that way. Their trust was betrayed too severely or too often, and it broke something that is very hard to build back up. In the future, do not participate in this process by breaking people's trust. Figure out how to live life with integrity and listen to what your gut tells you about people. The more integrity you have, the easier it will be to walk away from someone you know is going to be bad news. You will be fine. Story 54. Do you have any friends who can join the group and connect you with the administrators? If you have proof of her creepy or controlling behavior and all the calls, get that prepared. You could also contact the news. Some outlets might find it interesting or may already be investigating groups like that for a story. You could create a new account to access the group yourself, reach out to the administrators, or make a post to counter it by sharing the full truth to expose how she has been behaving and treating you. Story 55. Get ahead of the drama. When you start dating someone new, inform them of what happened and show them your proof of her threats and lies. Eventually, and not long from now, the post will fade into oblivion like most things online. Story 56. Do you have any idea what exact false information I will refer to her as CBG, was stating? I am not doubting you. I am asking so I can tailor my advice for when you date future women. Suppose CBG falsely accused you of cyber harassment in this Facebook group. Now future women have been told to be on the lookout for this behavior. What would normally have been socially acceptable, for example, calling once and then again, will come across as harassment. To avoid this, be extra careful when messaging new dates online. If a new date does not respond to your text, do not send a second message checking if she is okay, or she may interpret it as harassment, as she has been told to be on the lookout for it. Story 57. Original poster. I'm United States-based and choose option B and C. There's no way I'm risking being posted to AWDTSG or getting reviews of my phone number left on the T app. It's not worth it. I'll move abroad before I date seriously in my area again. It does feel really good when you finally just tap out and decide the modern dating culture isn't worth the mental anguish. Story 58. You cannot imagine that every female in Alberta is on this one Facebook page or reading every post. Worst case scenario, just give it a week or two. People's memories these days are very short. If you were today's news, potentially more severe in your mind than in reality, you soon will not be. In a few weeks, some resentful girl will be damaging another guy's character. Do you really want to date a girl who consumes all this gossip and makes decisions about men she does not even know? You are better off avoiding such girls regardless. Story 59. She told you she was going to ruin your life, which led you to do it to yourself. Instead of taking a self-reflective look in the mirror and considering that maybe the reason you're getting ghosted or people don't want to date you is because of you, and not one woman in a group chat. Is it possible she wasn't being unhinged and you just got scared and anxious because it got serious when she started trying to talk about a relationship? Makes me consider that you're crashing out. I don't even live in Canada, but I was able to figure out which province you're talking about. There's a ballpark estimate of about 250,000 women in that area. You're literally driving yourself insane because 24% of the women in your area might have seen a post by another woman. Not only that, you just assume every woman that reads her post is going to automatically agree with what she's saying. You're considering suicide because you can't get laid. I'm an obese 30-year-old virgin. Have some perspective on your life. How about you go to therapy, go to the doctor, talk to them about what's going on because this doesn't sound mentally healthy. This sounds like a lot of trauma that you have unresolved, and every time you get into a situation that brings it up, your anxiety flares and it scares you away. This is going to repeat until you realize why the anxiety is coming up, whatever past trauma is causing this. If you truly believed you were a good guy in your heart, mind, and body, you would not be crashing out this hard over one woman saying she's going to write a post about you online. Your story is not adding up. I harbor no ill will, judgment, or malice toward you. This is respectful, tough love. Story 60. To be fair, my ex was mentioned on one of those pages, and I ignored the red flags that other women posted and dated him anyway. It turns out he was far worse than what those women warned. I wish I had never dated him. The moral of the story is that most women take what is said on those pages with a grain of salt and see for themselves if there is any truth to the claims. I will say those groups are very helpful in avoiding abusive men and cheaters, but unfortunately, jaded women ruin their credibility. Just give it some time for your post to disappear into the depths, and you will be fine. Story 61. Dude, this happened to me last week. I exchanged a handful of messages with this woman, and she made me uncomfortable, so I told her. Before I blocked her, she said, "Someone will probably tell you when you're posted there anyway." I knew exactly what she was talking about, so I started freaking out. About 15 minutes later, my ex-girlfriend texted me and said, "Hey, somebody posted you on Are We Dating the Same Girl?" The thing is, I am openly, ethically non-monogamous and extremely honest with women about that. The women in my life know how much I respect and appreciate them. I had multiple women tell me that they had never seen anything like it, and it was almost like an advertisement for me. It was nice to know that even anonymously, women would have nice things to say about me. I'm really sorry about your experience, brother, but I think, like the top comment says, I wouldn't worry too much about it. People will forget, and the average woman will not have seen it in the first place. Don't trip, brother. Story 62. While made with the best intentions and for safety reasons, these groups are just gossip hubs at this point. Most women join them strictly for entertainment, but a very small and loud minority participate in character assassinations. Most women know that it has basically devolved into a reality show setting. So no, your world is not over. While it is probably best to lay low and let it blow over for a while, it is not impossible to date. Yes, you might be rejected by some women because of the post. It may feel like you are being suffocated by the spotlight. Mentally ill and manipulative women are very good at turning strangers into their followers. The worst thing you can do is give any attention to her accusations. If you are afraid for your safety or that her harassment will continue, look into your state's laws on restraining orders. In many states, it is an arrestable offense for her to continue posting about you if there is a restraining order in place. Story 63. There are many people in the world, and I refuse to believe that one girl posting gossip online is the source of all your dating troubles. It sounds like she got into your head, and maybe you are not as charming as you think you are. Perhaps you should start looking inward instead of blaming someone else for your problems. Story 64. First of all, take a breath. Second, do you really think every woman in Canada is on this social media group? Third, she said she did not post it. There is a chance she did not post it. Do not lose your temper over one bad breakup. Story 65. I was posted in a group a couple of years ago. I had the exact same reaction. I didn't sleep well for a few months, started drinking heavily, and in general became self-destructive. Those groups are toxic gossip wastelands of hatred toward men. I have had partners since that post went up. I've had positive experiences, and some of those women mentioned as much in the post about me. I haven't asked my female friends about it since. I just live my life. I know I'm not the person she claimed me to be, and I carry myself accordingly. Story 66. You press charges for defamation and ask your lawyer to send a letter to the group administrator to remove the content, threatening legal action if they do not comply. Then you win easily, judging by the appearance in front of a judge. Story 67. You're really overthinking this. Yes, it's bad, but it's a private group and half the people on it probably don't follow the posts. In terms of your options, there's no harm in trying to do more offline dating anyway. Story 68. You might feel that some responses here sound dismissive of your concerns as paranoia or overthinking. It's true that being posted on a page meant to expose potentially predatory men can hurt your reputation. It's unfair and cruel that the woman admitted she is being somewhat dishonest and engaging in smearing as revenge for what probably transpired in a way that was unfavorable, distasteful, and hurtful to her pride and ego. Right now, your priority should be damage control. Get your information removed from the defamatory page. You might also consider taking legal action against her for intentional character assassination and spreading untrue rumors to sabotage you. If you are strongly and persistently having these thoughts, it is because that is what is right for you and you deserve nothing less. You may want to be compensated for damages by suing her, and that is perfectly acceptable. If you want to proceed with legal action, I would not stop you. It is your right, and people on the internet cannot fully understand what is at stake for you personally. Seek counsel from your lawyer to explore options and realistic outcomes that meet your objectives. Whether removing content from Facebook, clearing your reputation, claiming damages, or proving her false accusations. Keep your options open in case things take a turn for the worse unexpectedly. What others here are saying is that this will eventually pass without serious repercussions. Nothing you couldn't explain away. In time, you might look back and laugh it off, even if it was brought up by a woman you were on a date with. This is why you are probably too worried and panicking. There is a difference between what women say and what they do, which often does not line up as you'd expect. There is a common narrative online that women are not deterred but rather intrigued and attracted by men with somewhat of a bad or questionable reputation. Especially when that reputation comes from another disgruntled and jealous woman who could not have you. You might even become more popular than you thought. The saying goes, bad publicity is still good publicity. One person or entity can only do so much to destroy your reputation, and that does not guarantee their desired outcome. Many believe you will not be affected as much as you imagine. Take some time to gather yourself. Relax and relieve the stress built up in your body. Take your mind off the issue for a bit and really turn off. Come back to it after a weekend or so. Then talk to your lawyer and make a statement or report to the police about the incident to ensure you are protected, and the authorities are aware in case things escalate. The world moves too fast to notice or remember long. If you are recognized, don't assume it can only be bad. Women perceive men with a public reputation, whether good or somewhat bad, as having a certain allure. You would be certified a bad boy, which can be social proof that you do well with women. Do not dismiss the possibility that this can be a win for you in the long run. With time, be ready with a cool story that makes women laugh it off with you. Women understand how women behave when they are sore losers. Their interaction with you might be enough for them to see that you are quite the man if a woman went to such lengths because she did not have you. Relax. This is not the end of anything. Presidents and movie stars have been through worse and are still thriving. That is the reality of women. They are intrigued by this bad boy persona. Cheers and peace out. Story 69. Serve notice on the page owner that the content is defamatory and that you will seek legal redress if they do not remove it. The situation will resolve in a few months. Story 70. People who think they need a $1,000 per hour lawyer. Go find a criminal lawyer. They will be happy for the business and work harder for you. Story 71. As a woman who has literally never used these Facebook groups, this is not the end of your dating life. There is no reason the opinions of others should have such a deep emotional impact on you. I highly recommend speaking to a professional, such as a therapist, if it has caused you to become suicidal. Story 72. Facebook should be able to address this. It may involve several steps, but it could be worthwhile. Story 73. I will repeat what others have said. This will be completely forgotten very quickly. Since the group is private, it will not appear if potential dates search for you on social media. Regarding ghosting, is it possible that the stress and anxiety of the situation are showing in your demeanor, making you seem skittish or paranoid? That can be a turn-off or even a warning sign for some. As others have said, this will blow over and become just another intrusive, cringeworthy memory that pops into your mind when you are trying to sleep. It will not harm you socially in the long run. Story 74. Honestly, I am the kind of person who would probably go to a lawyer. They can send a piece of paper to the administrator or even Facebook, and by the end of the week, either the post will be shut down, deleted, or the user will be removed. This is literally what I would do. Then, once it is done, do not date for 6 months. Story 75. Try contacting the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation or a local newspaper. They might be interested in investigating this character assassination. Story 76. Seek legal action. It should not be that hard to join this group, even if it is private. Ask your female friends or colleagues and explain the situation. Take screenshots and gather evidence. Story 77. Tangential to the original post, but the mere existence of these groups shows how all women in a given area match with the same men. Story 78. If the information posted about you in the group is false, then get a lawyer. However, the burden of proof lies with you to prove the statements are false. Most men posted in those groups deserve to be posted, to be honest. Story 79. If she is admitted to publishing it, then consult a lawyer. Usually, 1 or 2 demand letters are enough to make people give in when they are caught. Story 80. That happened for a reason. You know what most people were saying is true. Do not go on there and defend yourself. Do not ask someone to defend you. Eventually, someone will reach out to you and just calmly explain that you have no idea why someone would say this. If you can find the person who posted it, you have a defamation claim against them. Story 81. I can attest that women do not actually care about what is posted there. I am pregnant by a man I met in one of these groups after the fact. His new girlfriend posted about him. He told her I am pregnant only after she questioned everyone who commented. I told her to ask questions that mattered. Clearly, she did not care that he has a child on the way whom he never plans on meeting. She is completely okay with him abandoning his child. He is 40 and not very good looking. So, if he can get a woman to enter a relationship with him under these circumstances, anyone can. Story 82. Claiming I used her. I will never understand women having casual sex with a man and then pretending he used her. These are the same women who reject the men who do not have sex with them right away because they think those men are not real men. Learn to accept responsibility. Also, have you tried reporting the group to the social media platform? Say you are being harassed and slandered. Story 83. Probably should have just entertained the phone call after you took advantage of her in the first meeting. Story 84. No, you had sex with her first and put yourself in this position. You don't get to congratulate yourself for identifying her as unstable after she behaves this way, especially after you made a poor decision. Now face the consequences. Story 85. You could send a message to the moderator. They will make a post about her lies and block her, as well as remove her from groups in other areas. Story 86. So you were intimate with a girl you had no feelings for, and now you are upset because she told other women about it? Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.